Donald Trump has often talked about his warm relations with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un during his last term as president and has repeatedly claimed that their relationship will improve once Trump returns to power. Kim, however, has not been so friendly recently, accusing the United States of constantly aggressive and hostile policies toward North Korea. As Business Insider writes, analysts say Trump enters his second term in a weaker position than in 2017, and this time he will have to deal with a much tougher and more assertive Kim. Trump is keen to re-engage with Kim and plans direct talks after taking office. But Bruce Bennett, an analyst at the Rand Corporation, said it is unlikely Kim would meet with Trump even if Trump sought the opportunity, unless Trump is prepared to offer major concessions before the meeting. The world is becoming more complex and dangerous, and Kim is taking advantage of it. Trump has promised to end the war in Ukraine, possibly by handing over Ukrainian territory to Russia, but critics say a soft stance on Russian aggression will further empower North Korea. It will be interesting to see how the new administration reconciles a softer stance towards Russian aggression, now supported by North Korean troops and material, with continued efforts to dismantle North Korea's nuclear program, says Daniel Salisbury, a research fellow at the Center for Science and Security Studies at King's College London. Trump is likely to use carrots rather than sticks to achieve his strategic goals, analysts say. That means resuming direct diplomacy with Kim, with whom he has always had good relations. At the same time, Trump's promise to end the war in Ukraine could work in his favor, reducing Russia's dependence on North Korea and leaving the country isolated once again. A deal between Trump and Kim seems unlikely, but possible, according to Jeremy Chan, a senior analyst at Eurasia Group. Trump might not demand the North denuclearize and instead broker a freeze on nuclear development and weapons testing. In return, Trump could offer Kim sanctions relief and a reduction in the number of US troops in South Korea. The potential to achieve the strategic goal of being recognized as a nuclear power while coming out of the international cold is likely to be too great for Kim to pass up, especially as the war in Ukraine winds down, Chan says. As Ellen Kim, a senior fellow in the Korea chair at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, points out, events in Ukraine will ultimately determine whether Kim wants a new rapprochement with Trump. Neither maximum pressure nor flattery may work until the war in Ukraine is over. We have to see how North Korea's relations with Russia develop. The Ukrainian TV channel TSN published sensational information that Putin's alleged illegitimate daughter, Elizaveta Krivonogic, began using a passport with the surname Rudnova. This surname is not accidental. It belonged to Oleg Rudnov, a longtime friend of the head of the Kremlin and a media manager, whose family, according to investigations, carried out sensitive assignments in the interests of Putin. According to leaked Russian databases, Elizaveta Olegovna Rudnova studied at the Parisian School of Management and Art, ICART. TSN journalists provided evidence, including documents on academic achievements and confirmations from employees of the educational institution. The surname Rudnova indicated in these documents coincides with the passport data of Putin's alleged daughter. The choice of a surname to create a new identity is connected to Putin's long-standing ties with the Rudnov family. In 2008, Svetlana Krivonogic, Elizaveta's mother, received elite real estate in St. Petersburg from the Rudnov family. Later, other real estate and assets were registered to members of this family, emphasizing their closeness to the Russian president's inner circle. Investigations show that the surname Rudnova is not the first attempt to hide Krivonogic's true identity. Previously, she used the pseudonym Rozova. According to leaks, this pseudonym appeared in food delivery orders, electric scooter rentals, and airline ticket reservations. Flight databases indicate that the girl flew within Russia under the name Rudnova and abroad under the pseudonym Rozova. The last exit from Russia was recorded in May 2021 when Krivonogic headed to Paris. Context and paradox, the scandal involving the Rudnov surname has become the latest link in a chain of revelations related to Putin's personal life. While the Russian president proclaims a course toward traditional values, his relationships with women and children outside of marriage raise questions. Elizaveta's mother, Svetlana Krivonogic, was Putin's mistress in the late 1990s and early 2000s, according to journalists. Today, she owns assets worth more than $100 million, is a shareholder in a bank, Russia, and is under sanctions from the UK and Canada. While the propaganda of family values continues in Russia, abroad, under different names, and with the help of a close circle of trusted people, secrets and machinations are hidden that undermine the image of the defender of morality. Russian Security Council Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev did not rule out a scenario in which Russia will have to strike NATO military bases in case of an escalation due to the use of Western-made long-range weapons against Russia. If the conflict develops by the escalation scenario, it is impossible to rule out anything because the NATO member states have effectively got fully involved in this conflict, he said in an interview with Al Arabiya. He made this comment answering a question if Russia can strike military hubs in Romania and Poland if long-range Western-made missiles will continue to be used against it. The Western states must realize that they fight on Ukraine's side, Medvedev continued. Meanwhile, they fight not only by shipping weapons and providing money. They fight directly because they provide targets on Russian territory and control American and European missiles. The fight with the Russian Federation. They fight with the Russian Federation. And if this is the case, nothing could be ruled out. The politician stated. Medvedev explained that even the most difficult and sad scenario is possible. We would not want such scenario. We have all said that repeatedly. The deputy chairman of the Security Council underscored, we want peace, but this peace must take Russia's interest into consideration in full. On November the 19th, Ukraine carried out strikes at targets in Kherson and Bryansk regions using US-made ATACMS and British-made Storm Shadow long-range missiles. In response, Russia carried out a combined strike at a Ukrainian military-industrial complex enterprise using the Oreshnik intermediate-range ballistic missile. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, in the past few days, the Ukrainian forces carried out several more strikes using Western-made long-range missiles. The North Atlantic Alliance would be wise to strike Russia's launchers in the event of Russian attacks. However, NATO countries will not be the first to attack, stated Admiral Rob Bauer, chairman of the NATO Military Committee, during a discussion at the European Policy Centre. He noted that NATO countries need to invest more in air defence and long-range capabilities amid the threat from Russia. According to Bauer, he is very glad that NATO has raised the issue of long-range capabilities. The idea is that we are a defensive alliance, so we will only sit and wait until we are attacked. And when we are attacked, we will be able to shoot down the missiles that come to us. But it's smarter not only to do that, but also to attack the archer that is in Russia if Russia attacks us, Bauer said. He emphasized that NATO countries need to destroy weapon systems that are used to strike at the alliance. And of course, because we are a defensive alliance, we will have to take the first blow, he added. Russian kamikaze drones and missiles used to attack Ukrainian territory have already entered NATO airspace. Also recently, Russian President Vladimir Putin threatened that Russia could attack American, British and French military facilities. This happened after the United States, Britain and France allowed Ukraine to hit Russian territory with transferred missiles.